tomorrow show, 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 tomorrow show. Oh yeah. You got that singing. You gotta sing that live, right? You gonna do that?
The Tomorrow Show.
Oh shit, that's probably good.
Woo! The Tomorrow Show.
That's awesome. Welcome.
Hi.
Welcome. Happy Halloween almost. Happy fall.
Yeah.
Happy Tomorrow Show.
Yes.
Welcome to the Tomorrow Show, where we talk about the things that get us through to tomorrow. And we empower all of you in global communities to be proactive about mental health care. Proactive prevention is what the Hope for Us Network stands for. That's the message we're transmitting, the signal we're sending. And the Tomorrow Show breaks it down into some different categories, so to speak, ways that we can elevate what you might consider a hobby into proactive mental health care, or elevate things that you do for fun or for relaxation as something that is necessary and an important part of being healthy. So, Tomorrow Show time.
Yeah.
You're probably wondering where our dear friend AC is. I'm Mike V.
I'm Erin D. And we're without AC.
We're without AC. AC, he's a busy man. He's talented, lots of skills. DJ, bass player, drummer, just a general amazing dude. So, his schedule is just too full at the moment for him to be here, like usual. But through the magical technological advances, he's going to be with us in a segment in the show today. So. Today, we have really special stuff happening. You want to kind of give them a breakdown of what we got coming?
So we are going to have our guests, Native Harrow, on. They're some real good pals of ours.
The best.
And I'm really looking forward to that.
Can I read some little blurbs I read about them?
Yeah.
So, our guest, Native Harrow, a band that the Dimes.
Oh, that's Gandalf ruining his witch hut.
His witch hut is destroyed. Okay, let me try that again. Take two. Our guest, Native Harrow, a band that the Times called, quote, Laurel Canyon style folk rock.
Ooh.
With shades of Joni Mitchell. I think that's a pretty good distillation.
With shades. Yeah.
Well, just a very specific Laurel Canyon style folk rock is also, I think, pretty well worded. Great job.
Ooh, that's
good.
Strong
Good writing by the Times.
That's strong coffee.
Yeah, you made it a little strong, did you? I like it. All right, I got another one. Unless you want to read this one.
No, go for it.
The Guardian. We all know The Guardian, right? The Guardian had this to say about them. Quote, classy folk rock duo flip from artsy 1960s pop to psychedelic gospel with an inviolable elegance.
Or enviable?
Yeah, enviable maybe. Inviolable.
It looks really weird
Enviable.
In that font.
So it's in all caps because they really meant it. And so that's what I chalk up my mispronunciation. Let me try that again. Take two. The Guardian had this to say about them. Quote, classy folk rock duo flip from artsy 1960s pop to psychedelic gospel with an enviable elegance. So it's just kind of remarking about their versatility. So
cool.
They have a new album coming out. Do you know when it comes out?
This Friday, right? The 28th?
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So the 28th is shaping up to be a pretty spectacular day.
Yeah.
We also have the Champions
of Hope
wrestling event.
Wrestling extravaganza.
Yeah, I like that voice. We are so incredibly stoked. This is something that our founder, Carl Evans, has been wanting to do for a very long time. Since I first started studying under him proactive prevention theory. And just through his mentorship and his friendship, I've watched him kind of create this idea that meant a great deal to him personally. And to know that we're just on the cusp of it happening, of it finally happening.
Yeah.
Exactly how I wanted to. And then also doing it so big. Like I'm not even going to rattle off all the names because there's so many. But I know we couldn't have probably done it without the help of Eris as a sponsor. Michelle Foyk was our first guest on the Tomorrow Show for season 2.
And the Logan Auditorium.
We love you. And Logan Auditorium, Sal over there. Just really helpful and great community spot right on the square. So there's wrestling shows there often, actually. And this one's going to be extra special because it's people from a lot of different areas within wrestling and coming together to do what we want to do is smash stigma and make it easier for people to reframe their mental health understanding so that they can treat their own sniffles when it comes to your mental health. You have symptoms like sniffles to prevent them from getting further into like bronchitis, pneumonia, the Rona, that kind of thing. So that's really the aim for all of what we're doing. And it's cool to be doing it through a special event like Champions of Hope. You can get tickets at champsforhope.org right now. And the pre-sale for the t-shirt, the event t-shirt went on today as well. You can check all of those things out though at the Hope for Us Network's socials. So make sure you give a follow. The album from Native Harrow coming out Friday as well, making Friday double fucking good, right? It's called Old Kind of Magic. We've gotten a treat of several singles. Yeah, so you want to read that little bit about their new album? Or you want to save it?
Yeah.
We'll save that for later?
I think we should, yeah.
We're going to save that for later. But it is their 5th LP. And it happened in the pandemic that they are so talented and had quite the audience and following over there in Europe and like the Scandinavian territories. So they ended up, their record label brought them over and they live in the UK. We miss them, but we're going to go see them for our 3rd wedding anniversary. There, it's on record. It has to happen now. We just started kind of planning our honeymoon that we never got to take due to coronavirus and the lockdown in 2020 when we were married. But I love you. I can't wait to go visit them in England. That's going to be cool, right?
Oh, yeah.
UK. You've never been across the pond?
Never
the
been
Atlantic?
Across the pond. Nope.
Dreamed of it, right?
Yeah.
I've only had one opportunity. It was a little more than a decade ago, so I'd say I'm due. Yeah. If you ever have the opportunity to leave your country of residence, you should do it. You go see other countries and know that there's a lot of different stuff happening out there. Going to experience it can really be a game changer. So anyway, Loose is their record label, Loose Music. Check them out. Pre-order that vinyl. They always put together beautiful records. Native Harrow, so beautiful. Later on the show. Gonna be so fun. Okay, so what else we got coming up on the show? We've got a Searching for Goodness segment. What's the Searching for Goodness all about, honey? It's like a virtual field trip, ain't it?
It is. It's our virtual field trip segment. I'm still very croaky from being. We're recovered now, but I'm still croaky, so excuse me.
I think it's kind of a cute voice.
I have major vocal fry.
It's like Muppety, kind of Muppety.
Major vocal fry.
Yeah.
So it's to Bric-a-Brac Records and The Brood, which is a horror-themed coffee shop up in Avondale in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they have lots of like cool little things to look at. I won't spoil it.
Searching for Goodness is definitely about being able to take you with us to some places, because accessibility is a big important component of the outreach we're trying to do. And especially here on Twitch, you can have a community digitally that can support your mental health, that can support you as a person and not feeling alone, and feeling a part of a community. If you're someone who feels isolated and you want to be part of our community, come join us every other Sunday, or any of the other streams that we have on the network. Drop us lines, and we'll interact, and because we're so much stronger together. You're going to see in our nature segment, recurring nature is amazing, and so are you. You're going to see a very special urban ag crawl, urban ag crawl that we did. If you don't know what urban ag is, I wanted to spell it out. Agriculture.
Yeah.
We participated in that September 11th, and some amazing people like one of the panelists at Bring On Tomorrow event at Eris, Janine Wise, who is part of an organization called Good Food is Good Medicine, invited us. And it was really important for us to support that. And probably one of the most inspirational afternoons I've had.
Yeah, it was really cool.
It was a little drizzly and rainy, and that almost added to the specialness of seeing that many people out supporting what organizations like Grow Home Farm and Grow Greater Inglewood are doing to take care of their community, like hyper local, hyper impactful.
Yeah,
there's some really special stuff in the nature segment that's coming up later on the show. And then, of course, we're going to bring AC on the show through the Theory and Beats segment in musical form. It's going to be a Halloween edition. It's going to kind of function like a music video, highlighting the songs that me and AC made last Halloween for our Theory and Beats segments in season 1. And you're also going to get some festive highlights of our decorations in our home and in our neighborhood. So you'll get to see a little different angles of the Treehouse. Oh boy.
Get off. Come here, bud.
Yeah. Do you feel excited about that?
I
feel
do.
excited about that.
I do. Come here.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's segue into our special roving virtual accessible field trip segment.
Come here, bud.
Searching for Goodness. Can you
see if this fits you?
Oh man. So I'm so excited as my wife puts cat wings on Gandalf, our cat.
Cat wings?
Let's see it. Cat wings? Bat wings? Cat bat.
He might be too
shout out to Shifet from our last episode with the cat bat illustration. My goodness. Shifet, I hope you like it. We made this for you.
Look at it. He doesn't.
All right, honey, I was trying to introduce the segment like real professional style.
You have to look at it.
I know, it's pretty good. It's actually, you could be a really good mascot for Bric-a-Brac.
I think he's
Records and Collectibles.
He's paralyzed.
He's a little paralyzed when you put stuff around that particular nerve center. But I digress once again. This next segment, Searching for Goodness, will take you on a field trip to Bric-a-Brac Records and Collectibles, as well as their combo coffee shop, the horror-themed The Brood.
Oh, he's purring.
He's purring. Nice, nice.
Sorry.
Take us away.
Here we go.
Take us away.
We are outside of Bric-a-Brac Records and Collectibles in Chicago. Oh. And The Brood is next door. This coffee shop they opened in the last few months. 6 months? I don't know when they opened.
Look at the Bric-a-Brac sign. It spins now.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah, so they moved up Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And opened this new place and this little like horror themed coffee shop.
Oh man, it's gonna be fun.
Look at the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Of course. That was the first thing I spied.
It's a pretty scary Catwoman.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, dude. That's awesome. Focus too. What you got there? You got a little focaccia? What you got there? A little wassail?
A little sidey.
Nice.
It's a great mug.
It's a great mug. And look at that great classic glass I got my cold brew in. Isn't that just great? Pretty cool. Great place to get in the mood for Halloween. Good ghost, good ghost. Amazing.
Desire is the killer, it's not lacking what you want. It'll lead you to the darkness, its sole purpose is to taunt. It's a mighty awesome stranger, it's a demon who can haunt. It'll lead you to your madness, it'll feed you to the dark. It's a killer, 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 killer. Killer, 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 killer. Killer, 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 killer. Killer, 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 killer. Can you live without desire? What keeps your head above the tide? When you lack internal fire, will you save those at your side? Can you balance what you need and what you want without your pride? Will you slack because you're human and that's the nature of mankind? It's
These keychains.
The Airgram boys? Or no, behind them. Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's all pretty fun. Freddy Pinata. Pretty fun. Whoa, they're so weird. Look at that cool stuff. Sticker fun, babe. Sticker fun. Yeah, that's amazing. But yeah, this mural is something else. something to behold. Oh yeah, you love Polly Pocket. Yes, you do. That's badass. Castle Grayskull. Pretty awesome, right?
Look at the nervous guys. It's cute.
So many fun figures. Armatron. I know, it's crazy. These are my jam right here. But fun. Masters of the Universe was not messing around either. Size Noodles and the Lebo Band.
But look at the bottom floor, the bottom level.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff down here. So cool.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
It's nice noodles.
I know you were there and stuff, but you know, it's always fun to watch you watch the thing I made out of the little videos we took while we were out adventuring, searching for goodness.
Yeah.
So I hope you all enjoyed that. Anybody in the chat, sound off on your favorite figures you saw in there. Like I said in the chat, I treated that like that outing almost like we were going to the Art Institute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because literally we came in, we looked at the menu board, we ordered a drink and a focaccia, and then after we had sat and like eaten that little snack and you know, just had our drinks a little bit, we basically went like systematically around each wall of the facility, each case, each curio case, just like taking stock of each individual item. It's a feast for the eyes for sure. And then there's this interior door.
Gandalf's like climbing into his toy basket.
You should probably take that off of him. He's having trouble navigating.
He's fine.
So our cat, when you put that pressure on the like the scruff part, he like will fall over. It looks like he's like all of a sudden been sedated and he's just can't walk right. And it's can you show them? Do you want to show them?
Yeah. Come here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna just like make the Meebo move around and stuff. We totally need a GoPro Gandhi cam.
We'll try to.
We'll try that season 2. Mark my words. Yeah, but anyway, just going around the coffee shop, there was plenty of cases, and then you go in that interior door, you open it up, and you're in the record store collectibles area of bric-a-brac. And again, you can just kind of slowly meander around the outside of the whole fucking place. And you know,
and obviously I thought he was gonna fall because see how he's like not.
Yeah, he's not like in control. Yay, what's up, Gabby? How are you? But I'm glad to have you here. We just did a Searching for Goodness segment where we went to this horror themed coffee shop and a record and collectible shop.
Yeah, and it's wild because like
thank you.
It's all
Skelly. Batcat.
So yeah, you see like all these different things, and
it felt very Halloween too.
It's all different like eras too. So it'll be like there'll be some newer stuff and then some older stuff. So like Mike was seeing some of his toys.
Yeah, I definitely was.
And I was seeing some of my toys all early, you know.
Yeah,
earlier.
I'm a little bit older than Erin. I'm gonna be 40 this year, so I was seeing my He-Man, Masters of the Universe stuff. I was seeing my Ninja Turtles stuff. I was seeing even some of the Star Wars stuff. Not that I didn't have any of these fancy nice noodles.
Yeah.
In the Rebo band or whatever. That was dope. I didn't have any big Millennium Falcons or anything, but I definitely had some Star Wars characters, you know, little figures. But seeing the Pee Wee Herman shit, me and my dad used to watch Pee Wee's Playhouse on Saturday mornings. Paul Rubin, total weird dude, but man, like such that Pee Wee's Big Adventure movie that Tim Burton directed is like such a big part of like silly me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, if you're in the Avondale neighborhood of Chicago, it is blowing up. Just like, so we live in Logan Square and moved here about 10 years ago, and we've seen a lot of change happen. But Avondale is just like kind of northwest of here, and it's where I taught school and CPS.
And our good friend David Basco is selling his macaroons, his homemade macaroons.
So
it's called Bad Channel.
Yeah, that you saw the cameo of Bad Channel.
Yeah, and they're all horror themed macaroons. So he picks a movie to like base them on, and then
handsome,
and then makes them...
talented, kind, and just a master of flavor. God damn, David, really your macarons are so yummy. And if you ever have the opportunity to either drop in the Brood and grab some while they have them in stock, because they sell out all the time, or you just DM them. I believe he's probably got them in a lot more places now too. He's upped his production now, and we watched it grow this business from lockdown to now, and we're really proud of him. So it was a double delight seeing that. So.
Yeah.
Can I make a comment real fast about the Skelly shirt? Gabby's in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm glad you love my Skelly shirt. And Gabby, we were talking about you this morning.
See, he's fine.
Because we wanted. Sorry. We wanted to. He seems drunk when you put a thing on him.
It's a little drunk.
Yeah, he's like.
We'll take it off. Oh,
he's like a cartoon.
He's like fine for a second, and then he thinks he's paralyzed and falls down. It's like.
I digress again.
Yes.
But Gabby, you've made like the coolest fucking piece of artwork, coolest show poster I've ever seen. I don't know that I've ever seen a show poster wood burned on a beautiful piece of wood as you have done, and I just want to say that was special, inspired, well executed, and I can't wait to hold it in my hands. I think you're probably coming to the wrestling show on Friday. If I'm not able to meet you halfway between you and us by the end of the week, maybe you'll bring it to Champions of Hope, and we could show it off there. There it is, Scott.
Woohoo!
There it is. So Bad Candy did release a new song, and it's called Karma, and that is the very special Dancing Skeletons Woodburn.
Sniff it.
That was done by Gabby Brett's No Face Art. They got an Etsy shop. Go buy some cool shit from them. It's wood burnings, it's paintings. You could probably commission something. I'd gander.
Notebooks.
Just so cool. So you're doing awesome, and can't wait to see you at the show.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
Should we keep it rolling? He's gonna fall down the stairs. You should probably.
I'll take it. He's not gonna fall down the stairs, but I'll take the wings off.
He looks like he's gonna drunkenly fall backwards down the stairs. I wish.
He's just a little droopy. He's like one of those. He's like one of those cats.
Just a little droopy.
Look at him. Those cats that are like ragdoll cats when you pick them up and they just.
Yeah, totally.
Well, it fits him and it's very cute.
It does fit him.
He does need to get used to like a harness so that he can go
take
for
him
walks.
on adventure walks. Yeah.
There you go, bud.
Now
he feels better.
I would really love to do more walking with our cat and our dog on a leash, like the two weirdest people in our neighborhood. Just waving at all our neighbors and be like, those guys, I like them. They're weird, but they're cool. I like them, but they're a little strange.
Yeah.
All right. So, and one last thing about the Bad Candy show that happened, we raised $1,700 for Sarah's Inn, a local org. I can't fucking believe it. It was like more than 3 times what we set out initially. And Alex Subak, the singer and principal songwriter of Bad Candy, was over the moon because of their advocacy and their personal stories as a survivor of domestic violence and just fighting for people and giving hope in that realm of this intersectional conversation. Because come on, if you're experiencing any type of abuse, be it physical or emotional, in a relationship with an intimate partner, that can be rife with additional obstacles. And it really just made my year, really, to be a part of something so special. And we couldn't have raised as much money as we had without people doing cool shit like Gabby doing that Woodburn concert poster. We had a friend, Joel Vagendala, who he did a painting that is just extraordinary, inspired by the masquerades of the 20s and the 30s. There was, sorry, I'm distracted. There was Scott Walker did a space rock painting. You'd have to see to understand. I designed some posters. We did numbered prints. And then Danielle Snow and Kai made Bad Candy gummies. They were Sour Passion Fruit gummies. This was the second collaboration we've done with Danielle. Danielle's a very gifted chef as well, great with flavors, and gave him a concept. First, it was bloodsuckers, suckers that looked like super gnarly and weird, and like there was like blood dripped on them, but were delicious. And then 2 years later, a little more than 2 years later, we did these gummies. We were like, can you make skull gummies? We'll buy the molds. We want them to look kind of like there's like swirly marbling happening in them. And they just knocked it out of the park. They were so beautiful. Hey, Jer's on. Hey, Jer. What's up? So glad you're here.
I had to catch a spider that Gandalf was trying to eat.
I had no idea what you were doing down there, actually.
Sorry.
Jer, we're so glad you're here, man. I don't know if you've gotten to tune in to the Tomorrow Show yet. Maybe you have. If not, we're really glad you're here. Jer also is another gifted creator, animation and improv, comedy, lots of different talents on display. You should look up Jer Moran and the short films that he's put out there. He's been in a bunch of festivals over the last couple of years. Yeah. And went to College of Santa Fe with Erin. Studying film. And the voting video you did just recently, that animation that you did with the song, is one of the funniest and like most poignant things I've seen you do. And I'm a big fan of Squiffle already, which is one of Jer's main characters that he's animated for a long time. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But man, this voting one, I don't know, maybe on the next show we'll because that'll be like the right before the voting is going down. We can maybe, with Jer's permission, show that on the next episode of of the Tomorrow Show. So right now we got another segment to get to.
Yeah.
And so the last, Searching for Goodness, is about finding community wherever that might be, right? And taking these virtual field trips can show you something that you might not otherwise be able to experience or have access to. That's important. But we really also we want to just highlight how that's good as a protective factor for your mental health. People don't teach you that explicitly. We're trying to make sure that that's common knowledge, that when you find a place you feel good, whether it be a place that you go to get a coffee or look at shit in a case, those places are special. You should never undervalue those things as being protective factors to stay healthy mentally. De-stress. That's just like a very simple way of thinking about having like mental health version of a cold or sniffles. Okay. So let's like try and normalize that conversation, and let's continue to do that with our nature segment. So we'll give a little lead into the nature segment, but I think it's time to hit it with that intro. Nature is amazing. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So this was special. This was very special.
So down on the south side of Chicago in Englewood, it's a historically
disenfranchised.
Yeah, disenfranchised and pretty ignored part of the city.
The invisible spaces of Chicago, and the ones that are portrayed with brutality and cruelty in any sort of news media. So y'all can fuck off with your like shitting on Englewood and stuff like that, because we went down there and saw it with our own eyes. So if you live in the suburbs of Chicago and you think Humboldt Park, for instance, or Englewood, for instance, or any number of insert here are like really bad places that are dangerous and blah blah blah, take a step back. Go visit a restaurant in that neighborhood. Go visit something that is doing good, and just see how often those portrayals are total bullshit. So
yeah, and like fear
mongering,
fear and racistly based. So so Englewood has really had to find ways as a community to support itself, and they've done that in so many amazing, cool ways,
gracefully, with dignity. It's like amazing.
Yeah, so they have all of these urban agricultural little like farms that are kind of spread out throughout the neighborhood. So it was raining the day that it was supposed to go, but they had like a trolley. You met at one spot, which we'll talk about, and then you could get on the trolley, or you could follow in your car, and you would go to each one, and they would do, the people from those individual farms would do a little chat, and then you could walk around their area, and then you'd move on in the trolley or your car to the next spot. And it was just like a really cool way to see all of that and learn about them.
100%.
So yeah, they had over 200 people come through in the rain to celebrate and support local growers and economic opportunity. So,
and they raised over
$30,000.
Yeah,
that's so amazing.
There's also after the segment plays, we'll have Scott drop some links in the chat for like a photo library, or like links to Growing Home or Grow Greater Englewood, just because it's so dope. And these intersections for that community are so important for proactive mental health care, because you need nutritious food. So you've got food apartheid in many places, in many cities across the world. So if you don't have food and you're hungry all the time, that's going to affect your mental health. It's going to affect your physical health. That's just one example. So let's roll with this special harvest season Samhain Englewood urban agriculture crawl and inspiration field trip. Let's do this.
Nature is amazing, and so are you.
can see the bee stuff
You can
happening.
pull them out and look, show the comb.
What's this one, honey?
This is
Sisters.
Katatumba.
Katatumba and Sisters of the Village.
Katatumbo and Sisters of the Village.
Cool. Our future is our confidence and self-esteem. Cool Tupac quote. Beautiful ancestral winery and you got that rock wall surrounding. It's beautiful. Gorgeous. I love that little cutout situation for the pantry.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. Yeah. Good stage. East Campus. I was just waiting for people to pass. The peace card. Oh, hi, honey. So when you were in there, they came out and they said that across the street is a peace house where people can come and get like bare essentials that they need, you know, and then just beyond that trolley is the imagination house, and they got like kids programs and stuff.
Yeah, he was talking about that.
Look at that stack. Look at that stock. Jesus. Unbelievable. Look at the colors.
Okay, I'll be right there.
What a special place. I never knew that. Rabbit manure is one of the best manures for organic gardens. I'll be damned. Ooh, I grow Chicago. Doesn't get better than that. There's a water barrel. Come on. How cute is that? You can't look at that and not smile. Sunflowers, baby. They're following us around. Just can't believe this. Together we're capable of so much. Did you know watermelons contain 92% water, which is why it feels so good to eat watermelons when it's hot? I like that. That's what other facts we got. Oh, I bet they do some chicken stuff once in a while. I see something about worms. Earthworms are decomposers that help make our soil fertile. For all the plants that grow, worms are very important for our food and live on all continents except Antarctica. Ladybugs. Did you know they smell with their feet and antenna? That's pretty cute and amazing. Oh, just look how beautiful these portraits are. Holy shit. So special. Well done. Well done.
say, who have been working with us for many years now. So I was just giving a brief history. So this space started over there, which was the Eat to Live garden, which this is actually how I got into urban ag. Was I was working for a member of Congress, Bobby Rush, and Warren Williams, Baba Horn, and I would all work. This is when, you know, doesn't have not quite been codified. So they were trying to give these spaces to more community gardens in the city. All the women, which was pretty loud, gave us that space and another space so that we can start farming. The organization by Angelic Organic Learning Center became the facilitator of that space up until 2019. And then that got turned over. Grow Greater Inglewood started to grow. We kind of stepped in by supporting Civilios farm. Looking for someone. This became the extension of what we got. Ron Emanuel's office to finally do. They didn't do it right, but nonetheless they did it. They got it, and then on top
Sweet,
of this,
sweet honey.
you can make it whole and put your plant
Right in the middle of
in
this
that way, you are gonna
biodiversity, nature.
have weeds. Yeah.
It's just the native prairie stuff. Goldenrod, sunflowers, cones. Beautiful. And they also got a solar panel up there. So cool. I love it. I like that it's
like do a wild thing.
yeah. Well, and then they put up these pallets and you can paint them up. Easy peasy, easy peasy.
And then they tell you.
Yeah, how to. I love the harvesting the collard greens. Yeah, you ever wonder how to harvest collard? Some collards or some kale. Yeah, that's right. That's how you do it. And you eat to live. That's how it started. All right, on to the last stop. It's fucking beautiful, honey. The Swifts. You got some Swift action.
Nice.
Aw.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, you got some literature.
Yeah. So this is September is when we went, but they have these for every month, and they have different calendars,
Newsletter calendar thing
for all the stuff that's going on. So they have volunteer days. They have markets down there.
Yeah, Scott, you want to maybe share some of the photo library that I linked you from the event?
Oh, that's cool. They had a small business pitch day. But yeah, so those were, first one we went to was Growing Home Urban Farm, and they do a lot of
we can be small
education as well. So that's where we started out. And then we went to Sisters in the Village and Catatumbo. And then DuSable Vineyard and Garden, was that the one that had the love fridge?
I'm not sure. We saw so many things. DuSable Vineyard and Garden was at 58th and May. I'm not actually sure.
Okay, no. So the one I'm thinking of was Getting Grown Collective, which is 63rd and Morgan. And they actually had a solar, Sunbin Solar, and they were the very first love fridge.
We talked to that dude for a minute. First solar-powered love fridge.
The first solar-powered love fridge ever in ever.
Babe, good memory.
Yeah, his name was Keontae. I wrote it down. That was like really cool because that means you could put it anywhere at all. You could put a fridge anywhere.
Yeah.
It's like a huge game changer.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
So that was like really cool. You just have to have somebody that goes out there and like double checks it's all good sometimes.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was at Getting Grown Collective, and then the I Grow We Grow garden with the
thank you, Scott.
Imagine a Greater Inglewood was really like that was. There was like a house. There were like there was a few houses. There was a garden that we saw. That was the one with all the colorful and the facts and that place.
The Peace Garden, the Peace Campus.
And then across the street was the Peace House, Peace Campus.
Those people really understand the way of the words using Peace Campus, Peace House, Imagination House.
Yeah.
Like,
so there was the garden on the corner, a couple of actual neighborhood houses, and then the little yard for the kids to play in. And like this cool wood treehouse thing.
That was I was so.
So they had
moved.
a few different spots kind of spread out throughout that block, which was cool.
Yeah, I mean the pictures.
And then this was at the end.
At the party,
At the party, which was at Inglewood Village Plaza.
Yeah, it was like a little square.
And they had a DJ and a couple little shops or like little vendors. And then
selling some records, selling some food, having some beers.
And then Cedillo's Fresh Produce, though, was the last place before that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that was We Grow Garden.
And those are the trolleys that people are cruising around in. We actually were late. We were coming straight from the stream. So we ended up following the trolleys in our car. And as a result, we got kind of like some more personal, like one-on-one time with some of the organizers, which was, I don't know, I felt really privileged. Like, pardon the use of that word, but it was just like an honoring, humbling experience to sit there and talk with some of these farmers and organizers that are taking vacants and turning them into resources and power for their communities, so they don't have to live in fear or live without, or be marginalized further than they already fucking are. So really, really special.
Oh yeah, so that was like
experience.
Some of the food and stuff.
And a lot of vegan food too.
Okay, so then Cedillo's Fresh Produce is a really cool spot.
That was by the Eat to Live garden.
Yes, so they had the Eat to Live garden across the street, and then they grew it out and
expanded.
It's like a family-owned place. It's the Cedillo family. They have, you know, dad and mom and their daughter, and they're all doing it there. And they have the local pollinator garden in the back that's just kind of wild because that's how it needs to be. And their bees.
Ooh.
And then they do these amazing markets and like
They
supply a bunch of the supermarkets down there with produce too, and it's just so cool.
It was a good day, and can't thank Janine enough for inviting us and putting it on Carl's radar, and can't thank Carl enough for giving us that experience, and Bree Kelly for joining us with her friend.
Yeah, so if anybody is interested in going down there and volunteering or anything, we have all that information that we can also help you out with.
Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to get involved.
Lots of opportunities, yeah.
One thing I want to underline about growing home, the job development component, the workforce development, the fact that they say good food and good jobs for all, that's very dear to me, that they would make their focus of their organization have that depth, where if you're getting out of jail, you were incarcerated, perhaps unjustly, and you're having a hard time getting a job.
I actually didn't know.
That's you.
He took that picture, but I didn't. I forgot to go look for it.
That's awesome. There's you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but like, imagine if you got locked up and now you're having a hard time reacclimating because no one will hire you. Well, something like Growing Home, they're working on giving you transferable job skills. Come work at our farm. Come help us kind of maintain and continue to provide food to our community. And these job skills that you develop here are then going to give you an opportunity to go work somewhere else if you want. Because,
okay, listen to this. These are the ones they do. Youth Corps, which is for teens to do career skills and change their local food system. Adult job training for hard to employ adults to gain a hands-on work experience. Farmer incubation, it says, supports new BIPOC farmers through workshops and market opportunities. And then Educare, which is for Head Start preschoolers with garden lessons. And then they have the mobile market, a CSA, and then they do farmers markets as well. Plus,
can you explain a CSA?
Oh, like, you get like seasonal vegetables or herbs or flowers, and it's a collective, and it's like all seasonal. You get boxes of different things.
I pondered what CSA stood for, and apparently I've got it right here. Collective Supported Agriculture. I knew kind of in general the concept from being at the farmers market and seeing people sign up, but didn't know what the acronym stood for.
Yeah. So then they also do volunteer workshops and community garden plots. So it's just, and then they have multiple projects and farms. So that's the Urban Growers Collective. Just awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, network. We just got it in the chat, a little shorthand command, ! Ag Crawl. You get all the links to support these great community initiatives, because you can donate whenever to Grow Greater Inglewood, or donate your time to any of these organizations, including Growing Home, Good Food is Good Medicine, and Urban Growers Collective. So many people that $5, $10, whatever you can spare, could mean a lot of good that can be done. So
yeah,
how that intersects with being proactive with your mental health, finding community through volunteer work. If you haven't actually had someone encourage you to do so, that can be like a religious experience in itself. Like, I'm not a religious person, but like the spiritual nourishment that comes with helping people, I think is a real deal thing. It's not for everybody, granted, but neither is every tool. So try things out, see if that tool works for you, and see if you can apply it when you start to feel maybe disconnected, isolated, overwhelmed by things going on in your life.
That's the trick.
Yeah,
that's the hard part for me.
Yeah.
And I think for a lot of people that, if you can do that, then.
if you can do that, if you can constantly try to do that, you don't even have to be successful at it, because you have a whole life of overcoming this opposite notion of don't talk about your mental health, don't deal with your mental health. So it's going to take practice, and it's going to take the rest of your lifetime to get better and better at it. But don't not try. Like, it's not your fault that your social or cultural factors, circumstances made it so you felt like you couldn't talk about this shit. Let's move beyond it together. So together, there's hope for us. The Hope for Us Network. Let's keep rolling, because we want to get our guests on here. We're going to do a little dance break, highlighting Theory and Beats, music from Halloween last year, and then we're going to get our guests on here to chat and much more music, because self-expression is also one of these protective factors for proactive mental health care and just feeling whole. So let's get to the Theory and Beats right quick.
Yeah.
This is going to speak for itself. It is our lovely neighborhood in Chicago, decked out to the nines for Halloween, right, Gizmo? Right, Jack-o'-lantern? Right, Skelly? Right, Gandy? Right, Batty? Anyway, there's 2 songs featured that me and AC made for a Theory and Beats episode from season 1. One is called Terrified. The one that starts, though, is called Tales from the Crib. And it has a bunch of cool little like Halloween Easter eggs, compositionally speaking, and a really great freestyle off the top of his head from AC. So enjoy.
Theory and Beats, Halloween edition.
It's my favorite time of year, man, I love it. Halloween, October, let me tell you something. All the scary movies that I can watch, and everything is happening so fast, it's going by like flies. And hold up, what's that again? Over there, are those zombies? Oh man, I think somebody out there trying to follow me. Nope, it's the fact that I've had too much candy, got me bouncing off the walls, feeling hella dandy. Mike V to my left, and you know we had a step. For them Snickers and the peanut butter cups. Break your neck, check your neck. If you don't come up with the goods, it's Halloween, man, and we do it like we should. It's Halloween, man, and we do it like we should.
Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet.
Terrified Friday night, I'm at my wit's end. The reason I just got paid and all my money spent. Rent, 2 bills on this check, what's left? Enough for a trip to Aldi's to keep my stomach fed. So much I dread, still have to keep it going. I'm hoping that my stress really isn't showing, but know that it's all written on my face. This high anxiety has me in a weird place. My mental state needs help, so I ask. So every other Monday night, talking about my past. An hour long leaves me strong, still I'm still shaking. Trying to stay positive, life is what you make it. Still facing misery is getting the best of me. For some reason, this silly sucker out here wants my company. Come for me, I can't scream. Keep the tears from my eyes. All these panic attacks have leave me terrified.
I'm terrified and scared. That someone who I felt like would always be there is fighting for their life right now. And I'm terrified. All that fear's got me freaking now. Thoughts scrambling, I feel with doubt. Every worry from every day, every to-do list jotted on the page. Every bill in debt to pay. Every dream I've yet to see. All that shit starts haunting me. And a big ass thunderous cyclone inside my head. Unrelenting. Close my eyes. Try some breathing. You're not gonna die. But holy shit, I'm terrified. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared that I'm feeling, scared of regret. Scared you don't like me, but you don't even know me yet.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you, Scott. Yeah, it's a really interesting to hear that song after a year. Like, kind of makes me emotional because Gramps, my grandpa Nick, he was sick in October last year, and then he passed in November. So like, it's vulnerability in a bottle right there, in a moment that I was processing in real time, which is like something that I've been practicing and trying to get to. Like in 2014, when things about fell apart in my life, it was really important for me to like learn to be proactive and to learn to take better care of myself and my mental health, and to learn how that's different for someone like me. I live with bipolar disorder, and it doesn't really affect me that much, other than some people find me a bit weird sometimes. As long as I'm like taking care of myself and making sure I'm sleeping and stuff like that. So for a long time, I'd put off dealing with things that were bothering me and making me feel bad mentally for a very long time, and that would build up. And that's what the Hope for Us Network calls the concealment gap, or concealment culture, where you just kind of keep it to yourself. And when I had like a total breakdown or breakthrough, however you want to kind of think of it, my goal was to continuously try and shorten the amount of time I waited to talk about when things were bothering me. So that's like vulnerability in a bottle, because I was like trying to deal with it right then. It was bothering me. It was making me extremely sad and feeling hopeless. And I tried to make music with my friend in a safe space to feel a little bit better. And maybe that had some profound impact at the time as well. It's hard to think about it now and really recall whether it did or not. But when we were talking about making a Halloween song last year, we made one that was fun and like silly and Halloween-ish. And then we found ourselves making another one the following week that was really, a deep song. It's things that AC said in his verse are things I think that a lot of people can relate to as far as everyday type struggles of not having enough money to pay all the bills and do the things you want to do to be happy and do the things you want to do to grow and get to different levels of whatever you're trying to be, whatever you're trying to do. So I hope you enjoyed that little music video. Speaking of vulnerability, like this guest of ours, they are not only very, very talented international artists at this point, very successful with the music they're creating. They're also very dear friends. We've gotten to spend some very formative time with them as guests in our home when they were touring and playing at Space in Evanston or recording here in Chicago and things like that. And for a brief moment, it was a possibility that they were going to move across the yard and be part of the Treehouse gang. But that didn't work out, and they had an opportunity to move to England. So before we bring them on, I'd like to read this little blurb about their new record coming out Friday. Old Kind of Magic, the fifth long player from native Harrow, arrives 2 years into their new life in Sussex, England. It is in this new place that they have self-produced a work that is simultaneously their most sweepingly expansive and delicately intimate album to date. The songs contained herein move dramatically from the opening field recording of the Brighton seaside to Laurel Canyon-esque folk rock piano and Rhodes tinged with soul jazz balladry, oud and harpsichord-driven 60s Technicolor psychedelia, dense modernistic string quartet writing, and wide as the western sky's panoramic pedal steel, with sepia-toned 12-string. Wow. Doesn't that sound rich? Old Kind of Magic will be released the 20th of October, 2022 via Loose, available on LP, CD, and digital. And without further ado, let's bring them on, right? Stephen, Devin.
Hi.
Hey, hi.
Hi.
There's our people. Hi.
There's our people.
Hello.
Hi, this is great to do this. This is
Thanks for being
much
here.
Oh, your beautiful faces. You're in Sussex, England, and it is 6 hours later there, I believe. Like it's like what, 8 o'clock, 8:22 there?
8:22, yes.
2022.
2022.
8:22, 2022.
Well, yeah, here it's 2:22, 2022.
That's true. That is
Good luck.
that's some old kind of magic.
That is
Nailed
some
it.
old kind of
Stuck
magic.
the landing.
Time is the oldest kind of magic, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what are y'all up to today?
Oh, today's been a crazy day. First off, there's hail and rain storms all day, kind of on and off. And then the sun came out for the sunset, which was beautiful. And now it's dark and scary again. But we went to London this morning. We got through the rainstorm. We took the train to London and filmed a little video session in a pub. And then we came home and watched Harry Potter.
Cool.
That sounds like a hell of a good day.
Yeah.
It's been pretty good.
What was the name of the pub? I love a good pub name.
It's called Betsy Trotwood.
Well, that's a great pub name. You just
Betsy Trotwood, yeah. It's in Farringdon.
Exceeded expectation.
Yeah. It's the one, our album Closeness that we recorded when we were staying with you guys.
Yeah.
The cover of it we shot there, and all of the promo.
Oh, that like really like
red.
Like
Yeah.
oh, it's like kind of
Talk about
sexy.
rich.
It's kind of
Yeah.
like sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very crimson.
Yeah.
Very rich.
Yeah.
It's like it feels like it looks like it would feel like velvet in there.
Yes.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It is textured. The walls are textured. They have that like really cool, kind of like someone painted over wallpaper kind of feel.
Yeah, many times. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good
That's
one.
cool.
It's a great spot. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We also have that one in our collection, and we'll be adding Old Kind of Magic to our collection imminently.
Yes. Any day now.
Any day now. Yeah. Yeah.
That's so cool. And so artwork is correct me if I'm wrong. Is this some wizardry of your sister?
Yes. So my younger sister, Brenna, is very talented in her own right. She started making collages when she was young, but then she's recently gotten more into it. And so she'll go and buy all these old books. She'll buy like fill a bag of old books and kind of rip stuff out of them and then build these collages. And she started sharing them on her Instagram. And I thought, I'm tired of being on the cover of our records. It's not all about how beautiful Stephen and I are. So I was like, please, can we use your art? And she was really excited. And she started making more. We had to go through several rounds of kind of which art we liked better. And then, we settled on the one that's on the album cover because I liked the sort of nature element that came into play and the old kind of Renaissance-y, and there's a weird wizard guy on it and a mushroom. I don't know.
It's weird in the best way.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Hey, how'd you get one?
I know a guy at the label.
Have you listened to it a couple times?
Yes.
We have,
It sounds very good. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Sorry.
You guys have probably been through this process a lot now, where you have to like approve a test pressing, I'm sure, before they send it to production, right?
Yes.
It's always like so exciting to put that test pressing on the turntable, and it's even more exciting once the final product comes. I
see people selling the test pressings. Like it's a collector's item, and
sure.
And I can't imagine getting rid of it. We have all our test pressings from every record we've made. I can't imagine getting rid of them.
Yeah.
Like the only way you would do it is if it was like probably like raising a bunch of money for like
okay, well maybe.
Well, they give us two.
They give us two.
They give us two, and I would totally sell one of them.
Unless you guys fight over the other one.
Yeah. No, but it is, and when it comes, because we get this like a week before it comes out, we'll usually get the new album, and it's it is. There's something about it, because it's been so long since you've made it. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is you make the record, and then we finished this album in November, about a year ago.
Yeah.
And so we've toured since then. We've started working on other things. We've gone in a lot of places. So you're not hearing it for the first time, obviously, but I am hearing it in a new way right now as it's coming out.
I also think that like you start getting all the press reports and stuff, and even if there's good press reports, obviously there's people out there that don't like Native Harrow and don't like our music. So I think the tangible thing is so important, because, you get a bad email with somebody being not a fan, or, they don't care for it. And then you go and you put it on and you're like, this is good. I put everything into this. Song's about my grandma. Screw you.
Yeah. It is good.
Yeah. I think it's good to have that physical thing that you can hold on to and say, I made this. It's art. And that's what's important, is that I made something out of my life.
Yeah.
And in theory, the test pressing and the final copy, they should be like, sonically the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
But it's almost like impossible to hear it the same way.
Right.
Right.
Without the artwork and the
you're like, holy shit. And then more time has passed too, and you're like your life almost like influences how you take in and perceive these
100%.
different pieces of art. Like
100%.
Yeah, I think we could go back and listen to like the first Native Harrow record we got, and like now it would probably feel like quite a bit different, because all the life lived in between. But
totally.
the new stuff, the videos are so cool. Do we want to watch Old Kind of Magic?
Sure.
Watch it with us.
Yeah,
sure,
let's watch it.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, Scott, let's roll tape. This is
off, change it all. I wanna see really me. I got stuck in my old days, stripped my mind, took the back way, saw a different life. I wanna take it there. I feel free in a way. Is it a sign of the times or the full moon? I wanna be alone with you. Take it as it comes, trust it as it goes. Lost to the mirage, everybody I arrived at a place deep in my soul, took away all the things I couldn't know. Only real, that's how it goes. I wanna take you there. Take it as it comes, trust it as it goes. Lost to the mirage, everybody I arrived at a strange time and I said, only real, that's how this ends.
What was your like process for that?
Wait, real quick, let's also tell the people watching that isn't the title track, Old Kind of Magic.
Yes.
That was As It Goes.
As It Goes.
Yes.
So,
That's
I want to clarify real quick.
Yeah, sure. That's the beginning of side B. That's the side B opener.
Yes.
If on vinyl.
Okay. So yes, your process on that.
Okay, the process for the video. Well, I think the song sort of lended itself to something psychedelic, and we had watched this movie called Wonderwall. It's a 60s movie. Jane Birkin is in it, and then George Harrison did all the music for it. And it is super trippy, and there's a lot of kind of playing with time in the movie where, you know, someone will be kind of stop motion movement and then they'll be walking backwards, and there's a lot of psychedelic imagery. And I think we thought, and there's this whole thing where he's watching this psychedelic world from this tiny crack in a wall. And we thought, how cool would it be if our video was basically just the viewer looking through a hole in the wall at us having our own little psychedelic trip, basically. And I think we sort of, what we kind of, one, had no budget, and two, thought, well, let's just put on some of my clothes and grab some strange things around our flat and just see what happens.
Very unplanned.
And it was one of the hottest days of the summer. We were completely drenched in sweat, drenched. I was drenched in sweat. And
it's by far the easiest and quickest video we've ever made. We shot it in less than half an hour. And just because it was that hot partially, but also like we felt like we had enough.
Yeah.
And you guys are hot and your chemistry is tight and it's like magma. Liquid hot magma.
Thanks.
You don't want to stay too close to in a shoot like that for too long.
You were just having fun together, goofing around, playing the song on repeat, basically, right?
Yeah. That's a really good way to sum up the entire record. We were just having fun together.
Yeah.
Just in our flat. We made the whole record in our flat. And we were having fun together, just making a record. And then for all the videos, we've just sort of enjoyed each other's company and then filmed it and sort of put on a costume or, grabbed a guitar or something and then just thought, okay, this is going to be in black and white. This is going to have a psychedelic filter on it or whatever. But it in a weird way feels like the most like partnership piece of art that we've made.
Yeah.
Which has made it easy. It's been really easy. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Do you, that like, is that a filter that went over it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. We filmed it against this wall actually.
Yeah.
And then just added a light show later.
Nice.
It's so wild. It reminds me of like old science films.
Yeah, you get the can of oil and like,
but it's like oil.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
It's like like lava. It's like a lot of things. It's really cool.
We totally thought about doing that, and we were like, we can buy the projector, we can buy and then we thought, wait a second, we were supposed to turn this in like a week ago, so maybe that's for another time. But I know what you're talking about, and that would be so fun.
Yeah.
You've played around with projectors. It can be a little tricky though.
Light is a neat thing.
Yeah.
Did you put a filter on us by chance, honey? We look kind of like.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
Glowing.
We have this camera that we.
You're
can
so
play
fancy,
with.
babe. You're so fancy.
So it's fun.
I like how it zooms in and you can adjust the shot.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Just that's cool.
I never. I never. It's
The
Amiibo.
future is now.
Yeah.
It's Amiibo. Sponsor us, Amiibo. Hey, and blue microphones. Yeah.
Wait, let's see.
All right.
Oh,
there it is. Oh yeah.
Spooky. That's very Halloweeny.
It is. Like we just watched on Friday for the Hope Lounge. We were watching Night of the Walking Dead with Scott and some Night of the Living Dead. What did I say? The Dying Dead?
Walking Dead. Just as scary.
Night of the Walking Dead is like a Walking Dead, Night of the Living Dead mashup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mashup that now they have to. I have a script. You call me. I got it. But Night of the Living Dead, which was in like 1967 when color film was already like a thing, but they had a low budget, so they like made a very like stylistic but also economical choice to do black and white and like high contrast.
Yeah,
and it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think sometimes that's what happens. You have no money or a little money, and the artistic choice you have to make because of lack of funds ends up being the thing it's remembered for.
Yeah.
Which is kind of important to remember when you're spending money you shouldn't be spending on something that's not going to improve things.
Yeah.
Should we make our best like horror face real quick before you change it back?
Definitely. Yeah.
Was I supposed to make a scary face or a scared face?
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't very
really
specific.
Scared of the Walking
Dead.
Dead.
I was seeing something.
Yeah.
You just off screen. You don't know what it is. That kind of thing.
Zombies.
Man, we watched a bunch of Halloween-ish movies lately to like just be in the spirit, and it's crazy like how effective it can be to not actually show the monster. Like back in the days before, like they had like wild CG or wild prosthetic kind of practical effects stuff, and they were just like, well, we'll just like make it scary as fuck anyway. And you will barely get a glimpse of that monster, but you will be shitting your pants.
Because if you actually see the monster, you'll see how bad a job we did making it. So
Yeah.
we're just gonna,
Yeah.
like really,
it's just amazing how effective you can be with minimalist approaches. Is all like is my point. You guys like knocked it out of the park with your videos, and we're not going to watch this one today, but the one that came out in October, because this song was out in September.
Yes.
And we'll be listening and watching the one that came out in October, the title track, in a moment. But you also put one out at the top of October. That I think is maybe it was more involved of a shoot, but it's more of like just vibing with you guys. Like, caring about each other and having fun hanging out together and just looking like movie stars and stuff. It's but you also like you created a character with the countryside in your new video also.
Thanks.
Which did you guys shoot that one all yourself as well?
Yep.
Yeah.
We go on this walk just outside the sort of community we live in. And there's all these public footpaths in England that you can kind of just walk through people's farms. And not everyone, but a lot of people do it. And we do it several times a day if we can.
Yeah.
And you go through some fields of sheep and some woods and some beautiful hills that look like the Shire. And we thought we should just film the song. So the song is about Stephen. I wrote it for Stephen. It's taken me almost 9 years to write a love song that does him justice. And I thought, well, we should just shoot us, because that's what it's about, is kind of about our life together. And we moved here and built a home, which sort of feels like for the first time ever, feels like the most us home we've ever had.
That's
and
great.
I think it just felt right to sort of take everyone on our evening walk and be up close and personal for those people who have not experienced our love.
No, it's really, really beautiful. It's called Heart of Love.
Heart of Love.
You can find that on YouTube and stuff like that if y'all are interested out there. The thumbnail itself on the YouTube video is them just like with their foreheads together, and it's the best. I love y'all. Really cool song too. Really beautiful. And you wrote about Stephen?
I did. Heart of Love. That is Stephen. If you know Stephen, he's just the most loving, sweet, special human being. So
I love that dude. Love that dude.
Look at him.
Let's just gush about Stephen.
I did not.
I'm just wild about Stephen.
He's blushing. I can see his cheeks.
I feel his warmth. Do you feel his warmth?
Yeah.
It's his cozy sweater.
Hell yeah. Well, Stephen, I know we're making you uncomfortable, but I'm gonna just gush a little more. I've had like a long tapestry of musical like learning and collaboration with Stephen. I got to meet Stephen in Bloomington, Indiana, where I went to college and lived a couple years after I got done. And like I got kind of just paired up with him at random because of Brett Holcomb and a guy named Evan Krause. And I was lucky to be a part of a band called the Better Business Bureau. We gave them the business, let me tell you. And it was instrumental. It was jazzy, funky instrumentals that we just would challenge each other in really cool musical ways. And immediately I was like, whoa, Stephen is like this prodigy or like virtuoso. He played a 6-string bass. I was like, what the fuck you got all those strings on your bass for, man? And
what is that?
And like one thing I will say about people like Stephen and people like Keith McCutcheons and people like Brett Holcomb, they allowed me. Oh, and Joseph Lisnickia, this great guitarist from Bloomington that I think you'll remember, and Stephen Bergdahl. There was this group of musicians that were so generous with their knowledge, so generous with like just never making you feel dumb like as a musician if you didn't know like about some theory thing. And it made it way easier to learn that stuff or like to kind of just like through osmosis, like gain
absorb
more vocabulary and ways to describe something that you're trying to create. And that's so valuable to me. Like, you were a mentor and a friend, like, immediately. And in the year that I got to play music with you, I don't know that there's been another period in my life where I've improved so much as a musician.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I feel like maybe if I was a part of that, that's amazing. It was a network for sure. I know you got a lot from Keith, especially.
Yeah, Keith McCutcheon's is a doctor now.
Yeah,
he
was
that guy,
always a doctor, I think.
Yeah, he was always another level.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, he played on some of the Better Business Bureau material that you could find out there still on streaming platforms and everything. If you want to hear Steven do something entirely different, he's played every kind of music there is. He's played Christian rock. He's toured the world. He's played Middle Eastern music. He's played the Swizz, a very important but short-lived band from Bloomington, Indiana. Long live King Swizz. I just can't say enough about you, man. And I really wish, like, for all the cool shit that happened in St. Louis when I moved there, I really I kind of do wish that I stuck around in Bloomington to like see that through for another year, because man, we were feeling super creative all the time.
I remember it was a not funny, it was an interesting time in all of our lives where we were working professionally, and I was kind of making that transition from I had my last kind of day job at that point, selling wine, and then I kind of stopped doing that and was just doing music full time. But for some reason, we all had so much time, or were able to devote so much time to rehearsing that band. And I moved on to New York from there, and then Nashville. And I've never been in a group. I hadn't been in a working group before then, and I wasn't in one after that in those cities, where we just spent so much time coming up with things, but also kind of challenging each other. And a lot of those songs, especially kind of towards the end, they felt like an obstacle course to play a little bit.
That's a perfect description.
Yeah. Like you're running the gauntlet. Yeah.
Weird phrases and like articulations.
Right.
Specific.
And you'd get through the head, and then you do have to solo over all of that. And we had such a language about like key changes and going to the bridge and all of those. And I think Brett was the one that was really the instigator on a lot of that. But all of this like shorthand communication it wasn't jamming in a way that I've done in any other group. It wasn't jamming. It was like running an obstacle, like a team obstacle course.
Yeah, that's such a great way of describing it. Brett's been like a Zappa influence to me, you know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Right.
Amazing.
Yeah. No, it was a very cool. And there is a thing where you're still like, I wish we could just do that still, but we had to be in that world in such a heavy way, in order to play that music right. It was a cool experience for sure.
You'd bring lead sheets to those rehearsals, like like This Must Be Where They Keep the Mummies was one of the compositions you brought, and it was like there was some wild shit on sheet music that you're like, yeah, I just thought of this, let's fucking do it, and we did it. And I'll always be a better musician because of those challenges and those obstacle courses. And hell yeah, just had to say that.
I really appreciate that. That's great. Yeah. I really look back on that time. I have such great memories about playing in that band and doing.
We laughed our fucking faces off too. Like we were very silly together. Very, very silly.
I can only imagine.
They gave each other nicknames too after I left, like that were just hilarious. We won't go there at the moment, but
you need a reunion gig.
Yeah.
I really think there needs to be some like massive reunion show, like a 3-hour concert. We can all, so that those of us who weren't there can come and experience.
The thing she doesn't realize is every gig was always minimum 3 hours.
The saxophone player is like a show in himself too. Drew Carlstrom,
I've
just
heard.
like one of these freakishly talented dude that like doesn't have to play horn every day for some reason to just like pick it up and just like blow the most insane stuff. and they called him the Bishop. We'll do one nickname. He was the Bishop. So that gives you kind of a flavor.
Yeah.
But and it also brings us back to an old kind of magic. Should we watch the next?
Let's
Yes.
do. Yeah.
Let's do it.
This one's great.
You ever get so tired of running the same old race? The radio's static as the soundtrack to my headache and my heartache the same. And everyone might want something, a smaller piece of me. I've been pulling from the bottom of an empty well, and still you'll come back for more. I got trapped inside your old kind of magic again. You said, do I die? I cried, I can, though you're my longest friend. I won't go with you through that dark hole this time. I will wait behind the wave and say goodbye. Me, myself, and I. Me, myself, and I. We cry, cry, cry.
And I'll see her in there.
Me, myself, and I. Doesn't it just feel like the old days where we would run and dance and sing? Except now everything's grown serious and nobody just has a laugh. I don't feel like laughing much when you look at me the way you used to do. Carry on like nothing happened. It's my curse, your lucky spell. I got trapped inside your old kind of
out. Power note. Power note ending.
Did you guys watch the Get Back documentary?
Yeah.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
That room, I assume so. That room reminds me of that, like the one that they're in, that whole first part.
The classic soundstage style.
Yeah.
Was that your living room, or was that a
No, that is an actual infinity like soundstage photo studio we rented for an hour or two. Two
hours.
2 hours to make the video.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are efficient.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were like, cool, we can afford 2 hours. We can do it in 2 hours. Let's just do as many takes as possible. And we went in and just set up and went.
Yeah. And then we did a different photo shoot also.
Yeah.
You style yourselves?
I style.
Yeah.
Well, I asked Steven, you know, would you want to wear this? And if he says no, then I wouldn't make him wear it. But I did style us.
Yes.
I have a mass collection of vintage clothes, and I've started to buy some stuff for Steven.
Mm-hmm.
Although Steven is wearing his grandfather's cowboy boots now, which was your choice, and I love it. I think they're great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take credit for that.
No. I went there in March of last year for like 3 weeks to Tucson to see my grandpa, my mom and my brother also. And he gave me his 2 pairs of cowboy boots, and the ones in that video I wear at all our shows now. And they're the ones that he wore so I was born on a cattle ranch in Missouri, and it was my dad's ranch, and my grandpa came out to help him kind of get it together. And my grandpa wore those boots when he worked on the ranch, which is really cool.
And they fit you.
Yeah, we're the same size. Yeah. Yeah.
Damn, dude.
That's
awesome. Now they're in the video.
Yeah.
They have even that featured little moment where you just see. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find the timestamp.
Yes.
We'll
yeah.
it, and we'll make sure people can go zoom in on the boots.
Yeah.
It's after the second chorus.
I've got another question about the styling. Like down to the details of like the microphone you're holding, the amp and the guitar that you chose to feature in this video. Was that also like your input? Like was Steven like this guitar, honey? Like
no, you picked the guitar. Well, we both love the in the 70s. What was the Midnight Special?
Oh yeah.
People used to play on the Midnight Special television show, and I just love the way they look with the like super tiny mic, really stripped back set.
Yeah.
And, sometimes they were live, but a lot of times they were singing along to their own song. So we thought, well, let's kind of do our version of that where it looks like I was actually singing with the recording, but it's sort of like our version of what a Midnight Special would be like. And I think so we tried to pick, you know, a vintage mic and minimal with just the one cable. And then my amp is a Tweed amp, which, you know, they look older.
They're cool.
Yeah. Although we did kind of bring, like, I actually recorded that song, the guitar part, with that guitar. And I used a Tweed Bassman, which if people that play guitar know that it's a much larger amp. Yeah. So that I brought her amp because it's a lot smaller and I could bring it on the train to get there. But it's a look essentially.
Yeah. We definitely wanted to pick sort of retro, you know, something that didn't seem super new and kind of would go with the aesthetic of maybe something that is not timeless, but, you know, of a different time and kind of fit that vibe.
It's all stuff we use though, like that mic that she's singing through. We use that for all the percussion overdubs, and if like tambourine parts, I'll use it. Sometimes we'll double the guitars, so she sings and plays acoustic a lot when we do the main take. But then if you want to pan an acoustic guitar off to one side, it kind of leaves a hole on the other side sometimes. So she'll play the part again, and we'll use that mic a lot.
Yeah.
Just it has a little different textures.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
That's cool. You picked that up from maybe Alex Clark, a little Alex Clark tip?
That's Alex Hall.
Alex Hall. Alex Clark was another Bloomington guy.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Alex Hall that we recorded Happier Now and Closeness with. We picked up a lot of tricks from him, and that's definitely one.
Yeah. I think we couldn't have made our record without what we learned from him, because we were definitely set up all the mics to make Old Kind of Magic how he sets the mics up, and we got vocal mics similar to the one he uses.
He's He's very talented. Chicago engineer, reliable recorders. Shout out.
Yeah.
Was that you? Were you doing your own backing vocals, or did you have? Yeah,
it's all me. Yeah.
Choir of Devin.
Yeah, Choir of Devin. So we had a lot of it was made during the third lockdown in England. So even if we had wanted to have other people, we couldn't. So we set up the vocal booth was in our bedroom because we have velvet curtains in the bedroom and it makes a nice warm sound. And so it was just Steven sitting on the bed with the, record with the computer set up, and he'd be like, okay, now we're doing this voice again. And I did, I think, 3 vocals for every harmony that there is. So each one is done. There's 9.
There's 9
on every one. So
nice. That's amazing.
I think the Beatles Because has 9 layers as well.
Oh, yes, the magic number, perhaps, because I love that sound of that.
We can't talk about this record without repeatedly bringing up the Beatles. Every single, I mean, there's just no way.
Mellotron working overtime, baby.
Yeah, I mean that's like our
Strawberry
thing.
Fields forever. Come on.
forever.
Into infinity and beyond.
Well, and I thought about this. So on Friday when our record comes out, the same day the Beatles Revolver is coming out, the like 5-disc super
the deluxe.
Yeah. And I've recently, within the last year or so, come to the realization that Revolver is that turning point, not just for the Beatles, but kind of like in pop or rock or whatever music, where they start making these records that instead of trying to just, this is the band's sound, it's just the one thing. Devin jokes like something for everyone, but they're doing like, a little bit of everything. And it's not like this is what the Beatles do. We only do this one thing. They're really trying to fit everything into 35 or 40 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't put this together until recently, but that's my model for like what an album should be. Yeah. And I know there's like, at least an album that I'm like excited about making. I always want there to be, like, oh, well, now we need like the ballad, and like, what's the song that's going to be like super kind of out there and really pushing sounds we've never done before. And then what's the song that's like, I mean, with them, like, what's the song Ringo's going to sing? But with us, I think we're starting to hit these things where it's like, at least for me, I want this style of a song that we like to do. We need to find something that's this world. And like, we've never done this before. So track 4 needs to be that. And it's just such a model for what I want to do. And maybe
we couldn't, I don't think we could make a record that's all the same kind of sounds just over and over again in different kind of settings. I think we both like too many different kinds of music, and like pushing ourselves to try and do something like no one would think we would do psychedelic
right
rock
like as it
music
goes,
but we were like, well, we can we can try.
That makes sense to me, but I know you guys.
There is such a Beatles vibe though, like the 2 videos, like it reminds me of like that era where they were just going out and goofing around together filming it, and then that was the video. Like I Am the Walrus and Strawberry Fields have like some really strange shit going on in their videos where they're just speeding up, slowing down tape, reversing tape, and just like climbing trees and shit.
Yeah,
like,
Paperback Writer.
Yeah, so
like
inspiring.
Yeah.
They are just, I think, for me personally, just endless inspiration, and sort of in ways I don't even realize until we start talking about it like this. I realize how deep the roots of the Beatles are into my entire being, and even the way I dress and the way that the things I like, and it's just, they're sort of part of my brain, I think.
Well, and even that first video that you brought up, Heart of Love, just to change it up, instead of doing something Beatlesy, we did something like Paul McCartney and Linda, Paul and Linda inspired, but it's still just kind of a Beatles thing.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are like nailing the high water mark for like that swinging London late 60s where the Beatles were like setting this like fashion tone, and they were setting a musical tone, and like all these different categories of art were like being defined by like bands like them, or bands that were inspired directly by them at that time. And I think like, you guys are like paying tribute to it and like the way you show up in the world, and I think it's very fucking cool.
Yeah. Do you, with saying what you were saying about wanting to kind of do all of those parts of the album or like different songs, do you have to think about how you want the album to go together in that sense too?
Yeah,
definitely.
Sequence is such a thoughtful, deliberate thing that I'm sure you guys put a lot of time into for this record. And
definitely. There's a song that we recorded that we really loved and we'll do something with eventually, but it didn't fit the sequence, and it was kind of like either that's the 9th song on the record, and I don't know how to. The one that's on the record is called "Long Long Road," and they're both the 9th or like the song before the last song on the record, so they couldn't both. They couldn't both go on the record. Yeah. There's just no other way to explain it.
And those are hard decisions for sure.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. There's always one, I think, where we're both kind of like, I don't know about this song. It's like the trouble child where you're like, are they going to find their way in the world? Yeah. I think so. I'll just put the faith in it because there is there's something there, but like, I think I just have to like put it out and just let it be. They're both like that.
They're both.
And we had to pick between the two. And you're right. It does come down to some like tricky, you only have X amount of slots on time on a record. And then,
it's another constraint. You were talking about constraints earlier and how they kind of lead to creativity. Like, I kind of like that we're not making, it's not really an option to make for us, just in our situation, to make like a 60-minute record, like a 14 or 15 song, like CD, or like you would have made in the 90s.
Right. Yeah. People don't hang in there as long.
Well, I think it's because it's vinyl, because we know we sell more vinyl. These like vinyl is our format, so it either needs to be under 44 minutes or
like 21 aside, right? Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we do have to make kind of specific decisions, especially if we want to make a record where we want to, put a little bit of these different ideas in there, really disparate ideas in there.
So. Yeah.
If you had like so much, would you do a double LP?
Oh yeah. Well, our second album was a double CD because we weren't doing vinyl yet.
Yeah.
Was Sorority?
Sororis, yeah. That one's 85, 88 minutes or something.
Yeah.
That one there's a lot there.
I think if it felt right and we just had, a mass of songs and then of course like the support and the money was there to do it, because obviously it's really expensive.
Yeah, it's not cheap to make
team has to kind of on board for that sort of project. I was gonna say, I think with picking the choice, of the order of the songs, I think it's sort of like asking the artist to display their art in a gallery. Like you're kind of like, which picture do I want to have first when people walk in, and then what comes next, and then what comes out, and then you could do a million different versions of the same thing. And also you care, but you also can't care that much because someone else is going to come in and have a totally different opinion. And I think, but it does matter, because if it's not presented just so, it could change the whole outcome of the record. Yeah. It's
Agreed.
a funny stress, that one.
Yeah.
I'm sure you guys made all the right calls. I know it's hard to like know at the time until you've like, it's been out and you've been able to listen to it a little bit, but
yeah,
I'm sure you're going to be as proud of yourselves as we are of you. And you keep making that music. You keep singing that beautiful, pure sounds you make. You do have like one of the purest voices out there.
Oh, thank you.
It's just like, oh my God, it's like pristine.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much.
I don't know how else to describe it, but we really enjoyed having you guys share some of your music on the Tomorrow Show today. And
thanks for having us.
Yeah, we'll keep spreading the word. You're our first guest internationally.
Come
on. That's cool.
Come here.
Yeah.
We might have a friend from
hello.
She didn't come say hi at all.
Oh, so cute.
You sleepyhead. Sleepyhead.
He's like, please. I was so cozy. Oh my
Man.
gosh. Cute.
She's getting so gray. Look at her. Look at her eyebrows.
Oh, still
She's like
so
8
precious.
or something. 8 or 9. Who knows?
Aw.
You're a good dog. That's
She's 8 or 9 years young.
That's right. That's right. Well, this has been the Tomorrow Show's episode 4, season 2 extravaganza for Halloween. We've been with Native Harrow, celebrating and getting excited for their new record out Friday, Old Kind of Magic. And you should follow them. You should do all of the follows, the social meds, the Spotify and the Apple Musics and all that, the YouTubes. Also, go watch their newest video, stream their newest track, Heart of Love, and I don't know. I think that about covers it. You guys are actually performing for some UK Americana Music Week in November. That sounds like a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The launch. Yes. So they do this
launch, the award nominations.
Yes, they'll announce live basically all of the acts who are nominated to be before the voting commences, who are nominated for awards. Basically.
Okay, cool.
Well, hell yeah.
They're gonna have some bands and
some awards, y'all. Let's give you some awards. And I love your Grammy consideration video. Super real. So go to Native Harrow on Instagram. Watch all the beautiful stuff. There's a really great reel of them at some castle, like super sexy shots. And I'm talking about the scenery as well as the subject. Just like, I don't know, you gotta experience their world. And so go get it. And we're going to be back in 2 weeks with another episode of the Tomorrow Show. We're going to have a double Dan guest. We're going to have Dan from Punk Rock Saves Lives joining us. And we're going to have Dan from a band called White Bee. And he's on Twitch as Dabs and Drums, where he, I guess, smokes big-ass dabs and then plays drums and does shit on live stream.
Awesome.
Really, really cool.
Double
really
Dan.
fun. And we'll have AC back as well. AC sends his love. Native Harrow.
Oh yeah.
And he's got gigs. He's got gigs. On the 28th too, we're having a wrestling show, Logan Square Auditorium. That's this Friday, 6 o'clock. Doors, 7 o'clock. The first bell rings, and AC is DJing. AC is DJing the whole night. So if you want to see somebody spin some vinyl and do DJing as it was kind of originally conceived, it's quite something. It's really fun to watch. And not to mention there will be wrestling happening and a bunch of really strong, big people talking about how strength is talking about mental health, and strength is looking out for your people. And I think it's going to be really, really wonderful. So I hope you all have a fun Halloween week. Be safe. Take care of each other. Yeah. Happy Halloween. Can you hit that sepia one more time before we go? Hit that sepia. Be like, oh.
We have no offense.
We could do like evil laughter to the end of the show and the stream. Oh, black and white. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess this one's better. Zoom it in a little bit. And let's do some maniacal laughter to end the stream. Don't feel pressure to join us, but yeah. Tomorrow show.